right, cool. So what is your name?
My name is Frank. I run Juggalos in Recovery. It's a 501c3 nonprofit organization. We help addicts heal from their past, whatever they need. We just do what we can to help them out.
Very cool. How many people a day come through here?
So during the parking lot party, we're actually in the parking lot right now. We were getting about 200 a day, and since everyone's inside now, we've gotten at least 100 a day since everyone's been inside.
No shit.
Yeah, we've got a lot of traffic.
Very cool. And you just could bring people as they come in. If they want to be here, they're welcome here, right?
Yep, that's it.
Okay.
Like, we've had people come in here just to come off of bad trips, and we just give them some food and water, let them come down a little bit, and go help them find their campsite.
And then they can go back off into the site and do whatever it is.
Yeah, we don't judge. That's one of the biggest things about what we do here is a lot of other programs. I'm not going to name any of them. A lot of people know what those programs are. The people in them are extremely judgmental. The program I got into was extremely judgmental on what they call when you smoke weed.
California sober.
Yeah, California sober, Colorado sober. There's all kinds of different versions of it. A lot of people look down on that. I know from personal experience, my wife, she smokes pot because she's got extreme bad pain and migraines, and when she smokes, all that shit goes away and she can sleep at night. So I'm not going to put anyone down for what they're doing. So as long as it's working for them and they're happy in their life and their addictions. I had a guy come and talk to us at 26 years off of heroin.
No shit.
But he drinks a little bit.
Yeah.
And other programs will cut him off because he drinks a little bit. No, his addiction was heroin. If he can control his drinking, who are you to tell him anything else?
Yeah. And don't you feel also like it's like your own personal voice telling you when you've had enough, right?
Exactly.
And when you need to come into this tent.
Exactly.
Yes.
So, and we've had people with, we had one artist, his name's Rage. He had 4 years sober, or has 4 years sober, and he had a really bad trigger happen for the first time in his 4 years of sobriety. And he came up here and chilled out in the tent for a little bit. And we've had many people come up and just, we gave them a safe space. We don't judge, we don't push anybody away. It's not a religious program, it's a community program. We're here to help each other. That's what Juggalos are. We're just a big family. And I'm sure in your days at the gathering you've seen, we take care of each other.
Very much so.
And I push that hard. Like, everyone who works with us, volunteers for us, that's what we do. No matter who you are, no matter what your background is, if you need help, we're here to help.
Can I ask you a little bit about your background?
Yeah.
How long have you been in this world? Like, how long have you been an Insane Clown Posse fan?
So I heard about Insane Clown Posse in 2007. I was in the military in Alaska. I was in the Air Force. I was a F-16 mechanic.
No shit,
Yeah,
really?
yeah.
Like, really?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Working on fighter jets, like Top Gun level shit.
I still work on planes.
No shit.
Yeah, I work with Lockheed Martin now, and I work on the drones for them.
No kidding.
So, like, when I go back home, I've got 10 days before I got to deploy.
Where are you going to deploy to?
The Middle East.
No shit.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
So you're going to leave from the gathering and you're going to go to the Middle East in order to go work on drones?
Yeah.
Genuinely, I really believe in what the mission you have here is, and anything that creates this kind of dialogue and like has people like this that are talking to each other. I'm sorry, I don't want to like.
Oh, no,
you know what I mean? I don't want to.
It means a lot.
I don't want to show the camera.
Getting all this feedback, it helps me know that we're moving in the right direction. This program started as a Facebook group back in 2014. I was just in one of those random chat rooms, and me and another Juggalo was like, hey, maybe we should start a recovery group. And one of my YouTube videos, I gave him props and said his name and stuff. He backed out from being any part of it because he couldn't do it mentally. He had mental issues that he knew his limits, and he just allowed me to run with it. And for like the first couple of years, it started in 2014. My first gathering was 17, Oklahoma. And up until then, it was just a Facebook group. I had a Facebook page and stuff. We had a decent amount of followers and stuff like that. And then I went to the gathering, and it was my first gathering. I didn't know anybody. I went by myself, and I said, I don't care what's going on, I'm running meetings. I made a huge wooden sign Said Juggalo's in recovery. I posted the meeting.
You were just like, I don't care what's
This is
going
what's
on.
going
This is
on.
it.
And I've got so much love from that point to now. It's just amazing. But back to my background.
Yeah.
So ICP I started listening to in 07, and I was extremely naive. I lived a very sheltered childhood and stuff, so I didn't understand a lot of social things. So I started asking people and found out some of my friends from high school were juggalos and started talking to them and getting more in depth. And then I deep dove for years, just going way into the lore of ICP and psychopathic records and trying to understand
All the Dark Carnival shit, all the
everything.
sub acts, like everything that's out there. Yeah.
I deep dove for years trying to understand it, and I still don't know everything.
It's really complex,
And
right?
It really is.
It's hard to follow with all the
Yes.
cards and stuff, but I appreciate that it's there. And it's
So,
cool.
I'm happy you brought up the cards. I actually, on my YouTube channel, have done Joker cards. I've deciphered them for sobriety. I think I've gone up to, I don't know, I think it might be Amazing Jekyll Brothers. I've got Shangri-La and Hell's Pit next. But yeah, I mean, my background, I lived a very sheltered life. I lived in an abusive household when I was a child. When I joined the military, where I found ICP, I started drinking, and it right away became a problem. Like, the first time I got drunk, and I blacked out. Like, the very first time, and I wasn't the typical drunk. I was the weekend drunk, where I wouldn't drink all week, but I would black out or pass out
You
on the
push it
weekend.
too far every time,
I would push
right?
it every time.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was bad. And what my breaking point was, actually before my breaking point, a year before I got sober. My sobriety date is July 5th of 2013, and a year to the day was my mother's memorial service the year prior in 2012. And it's very weird to tell people this, because I love my mother to death. She was my best friend. She was one of the only people in my life to hold me accountable for the stupid shit I did. I am grateful that she passed away when she did, because it allowed me to get sober when I did.
Do you think that, okay, like, all right, cool.
You see
So
what I'm saying?
I do see what you're saying, very much
It's
so.
weird to say that I'm grateful for my mother passed away, but if she didn't pass away, where the hell would I be right now?
All right, yeah, bro, can I tell you something personal about myself?
Sure.
So my dad was sober. He never drank. He had had a serious drinking problem before I was even born, but he didn't drink after that, and he passed away. And then within like 2 years of that, I like stopped drinking. Like I said earlier, I was like, I'm done with the shit. I don't want it anymore. And then like, yeah, I basically like a couple of years in, I was like, yeah, I like actually there is a part of you that's weirdly grateful for something like that happening, right? Because it spurs you on to be like,
It really does, because being in sobriety, you're taught how to look back at whatever's happened in your past and see, well, at least for me, I see the progress of things, because I always want to know why things happen. So what I ended up doing is, it took me a long time to figure this out, but I think I was like 2 years sober, and when I figured this out, I was like, you know, I miss my mom. I realized I was mad at my mom because I was adopted by her brother, and that's where the abusive household was. And once I got past that resentment, I was like to get past that resentment, I had to like put a picture in a chair and talk to the picture like my mother was sitting there, and it actually helped. Like, I got all my frustration out on an inanimate object. I didn't hurt anybody, and I just word puked to a picture, and I was good after that. And once I did that, once I got through all those emotions, I was able to sit back and realize, wow, if my mother didn't pass away, none of this would be here right now.
yeah,
Like,
for real. Yeah.
it's amazing. Like, I'm getting chills just thinking about it. But yeah.
Cool. So at what point did you realize like you needed to, that you personally
so my
like,
breaking point,
yeah, when did you hit like a rock bottom?
My breaking point, it was the 4th of July. I was out camping with my girlfriend and my best friend at the time. And I did typical me. I got completely wasted, drunk off my ass, don't remember any of this. Apparently, my ex-girlfriend decided to, I passed out in the bed of my truck, and she tried to wake me up to get in the tent, so I wanted to eat, like mosquitoes and stuff. And when she woke me up, I had an emotional break. I just flipped out. I pushed her up against a tree. I hit her. Like,
whoa, really?
I'm not a violent person, and I went off. And there was one moment during that whole thing that I remember. I woke up. I was laying next to the fire. I woke up, and she had locked herself in my truck, screaming at me not to hurt her. And even now, 9 years later, I still visually see her face in complete terror of me hurting her. And anytime I have a trigger or anything, I remember that night. I don't ever want to get there, because everyone I surround myself with, I love to death. I would never do anything to hurt them, so why would I even give myself a chance to do that? So I ended up getting arrested for DUI, domestic assault, and speeding 98 and 55. I woke up in jail. I woke up in jail. I got out of jail. I had to call my grandmother back in the state, back in Massachusetts. I got sober in Illinois. Back in Massachusetts to send my best friend bail money so I could get out of jail. And because I spent all my money on fucking alcohol. And so all that happened. I got out. Luckily for me, my grandfather, he just recently passed, but my grandfather had over 20 years sobriety. Yeah, it was really rough. He was like a father to me.
And he had 20 years of sobriety?
He had over 20 years. Like,
no
he was
shit.
pushing 30 years. And he just stopped. Like, he actually drank non-alcoholic beer because he liked the taste. But he never drank again. Like, my grandmother was like, no, it's either me or the alcohol. And he got sober and never drank again.
My mom did the same thing, and awesome. Like, it really worked. And my dad was like, yo, I'm in it, and I'm here, and I'm not a drunk anymore. I am here for this right in this moment. Yeah, it is like somebody was mentioning that, but like the people around you that like that you all of a sudden you look around and you're like, I'm with my friends, and like look at how much love you have.
The love of someone else can do for you. And my father is also over 20 years sober. So I called my dad, I called my grandfather. I just got all the information I could. My dad is actually the one who got me into a 12-step program that helped me stay sober.
Are you serious?
Yeah. He was like, you need to go find a newcomers meeting, go online, do whatever you gotta do, go find a newcomers meeting and go to this meeting. I went there. The way that group works is if they have any newcomers, they have what they call a first step meeting. And the first step, everyone around the table explains what led them to getting sober. And when it came to me, I just released everything, and I bawled my eyes out the whole time. And I still remember the majority of people in that meeting because that meeting meant so much to me. And I mean, from that moment on, I was sober. Like, it's amazing what being able to remember things in life. Now, memory, on the other hand, is a whole nother story. I have anxiety that fucks with my memory, so it's not fun to deal with that. But the reality of this, Juggalo in Recovery, going from a Facebook group to getting hundreds and hundreds of people going through this tent and being able to help people, like, we now have the ability to Narcan people if we ever have an issue. Like, we helped someone that, when they opened the gates with all the ticket booths and stuff, they were having a major panic attack. Like, we just ran over there and helped them because 90% of us know what panic attacks are and how to help someone with panic attacks. So it's not just sobriety. We look out for the people around us. We're a community. Our slogan is, we put the unity in community. That's what we do. So we're just united on one front to help people. That's it. That's all we do. I've gotten so much love. I am so blessed. I am so happy. I never expected or thought it was possible to get as much love from the people here, even if I've had completely wasted people show up and telling me how they appreciate what we do because they know other people out there need us. And I'm so grateful. Yeah. And it's just amazing to me.
Yeah. And even whatever it is in the center of them that drove them in here in the first place, even if you're fucked up, like, right, it's still
we had a girl come in the other night. She literally came in here to charge her phone. And we ended up having a 3-hour conversation with her. I saw her the following night at Ouija Mac. And she came to the next meeting after Ouija Mac. And I mean, I got her contact information. We're going to talk and keep going.
It's just the support, right?
Yeah,
It's
it
just
is.
if they wanted the help, then you're here.
She was literally, when I caught her on Ouija mat, she was drunk. And by the time she got here, she had sobered up, and she started speaking and sharing. And I mean, it's just amazing, the power of words.
Cool. Do you have a second more? Can I keep talking to you, or do you gotta
Keep going,
go?
yeah.
Okay, cool.
Whatever.
So, especially with recovery too, the idea of broadcasting it and putting it online, social media, like, I think traditionally, right, it's an anonymous thing. You're supposed to go in, usually, right?
So we have a rule with Juggalo in recovery. I started off as a joke, just to get lighthearted moods going on. But the number one rule of Juggalos in recovery is to tell people about Juggalos in recovery.
Yeah.
There's no reason to stay anonymous anymore. Social media has broken that stigma on us. Extremely famous actors and actresses and musicians and everyone, artists, there's thousands and thousands and millions of people out there suffering from addiction. And if they would only reach out and talk to people who've dealt with similar things, or have a community where they're welcome and they don't have to hide themselves anymore. If you hide, that's what we did when we were drinking. We were hiding from our problems, hiding from our pain. And if you keep hiding who you are and what you're dealing with, how are you going to help yourself? So, Juggalos in recovery, we don't allow that. If that's what you want, sure, we're not going to push you to do anything. But we have found in the years that we've been doing this, the more you talk about it, the more you socialize with people, you're going to be more capable of handling rough things in the future, because you're not hiding anymore. Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop.
Love you. Be safe.
Be safe, please.
Love you, D.
So, I mean, it's one of those things that if you just reach out for help, and you don't have to hide anymore. Just be you. And that's what Juggalos are. They just learn to be themselves. Anybody you talk to around here, you'll know that they're themselves for once, because out in the community a lot of us aren't accepted because we just have weird thoughts, or we dress weird, or we look weird, or whatever. The outside world is so harsh and so judgmental. We don't care here. You are who you are. We accept you for who you are, and that's what matters. If you're happy, then we're happy.
Dude, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank
you. It was
you.
a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you.
Juggalos in recovery. Juggalos in recovery.